So today we will discuss about the some important questions on HANA database. Okay, in the HANA database. So till now what we discussed. So we will discuss this some important questions from starting to till yesterday what we discussed in the HANA database. So these are the very important. So please, okay, if you want note down, you can note down, or you can, if you want to listen the video after the recording, so we can, that's fine. So now we'll discuss about HANA, SAP HANA. So important points. Okay, so we discussed the backup, restore, refresh. Okay, so DB refresh, yesterday, three steps, four steps we discussed. So all these things yesterday we have discussed about these things and everything. Okay, okay. So then, okay, we discussed about the all these things. So then today we'll discuss about the interview point of time or some repeated questions what they may ask you in the interview time, during the interview time. Okay, it's may very important. So they will ask you like, so what, okay, first they will ask you like, have you worked on the HANA database? Yes. So we are the administrator in the HANA database, administrator. So we are the basis administrator, technical, not the development team, not the developers. We are the just administrator. Okay. So administrator means, so our responsibilities are, let me here, our responsibilities are like installation. So first of all, sizing. So sizing, okay, downloading the softwares and downloading the softwares and hardware sizing. Okay, we discussed it. And also installations, upgrade. Okay, then administration activities means it will come all the things like, so monitoring, support work, issues, backups. So all these things, and refresh, restore. So etc. This all will comes under the our scope. Okay, all will comes under the our scope. So as part of this one, first point they may ask you like sometimes during the interviews. So can you tell me the difference between? Can you tell me the? Can you tell me the difference between HANA 1.0 and HANA 2.0? So they may ask you this type of questions, HANA 1.0 and 2.0. At the same time, they may ask you, once you answer that question, they may ask you like, so can you tell me the difference between, to tell me the, so difference between system DB and tenant DB, up to how many tenants we can create it, up to how many tenants we can create in, up to how many tenants we can create in one host, how many tenants we can create it. Okay, so tell me the list of process. Can you tell me the list of HANA core services? HANA core services are they may ask you like HANA process. Okay, HANA core services are core process. So they may ask you like this question. Okay, so then the next step they may ask you like, so once you tell it, so where the index server exists, where the index server exists. So and also they may ask you sometimes, so can you brief about, can you explain about each and every process, each and every process you have to, can you explain? Why I'm not getting spelling as well. CSSOSS, right? Okay. Can you tell me
SSE.
SS?
Yes. O is not there, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. Can you explain about each and every process? So we have to explain about each and every process. And index server that is exist in the tenant database. Can you tell me the list of HANA core process? You know, 7 are there. And how many tenants we can create it by default one. So default we will get the one system DB, one tenant DB. Apart from that, we can create the 19 tenant databases. We can create it, right? So what is the difference between system DB, tenant DB? System DB, there is no SQL data, there is no data in the system DB. Why? Because data is available in the index server, but where the index server is available here in the tenant DB. So that's the reason. So system DB, there is no data here. So if you there is no data in the system DB, but tenant DB we have the data. Why? Because in the tenant DB database contains SQL, the index server. Tenant database contains SQL server. Sorry, shit. Tenant database contains the index server. Tenant DB contains the index server. So in that index server we have the data, right? We have the all the business data will store in that index server only in the form of tables. So that's the reason index server is the very important for the system. So but that is available in the each tenant, each index server is available. If we have the two, they may ask you sometimes, okay, you have the 3 tenant databases, how many index servers can we have? 3, right? So you have 3 tenant databases, how many system DBs we have? 3, right? Correct? No one is talking. Okay, so if we have, okay, 3 tenant data, if we have the 3 tenants, 4 tenants, 5 tenants, 20 tenants, but system DB is only 1. Okay, system DB is not more than, not more than, okay, it's only 1 system DB per host. Okay, in that case, so system DB contains the 5 process. So what are those 5 process? We have to explain. Can you tell me the difference between HANA 1.0 and 2.0? We discussed about the building and apartment concept, right? So independent concept and everything. So HANA 1.0 and 2.0 need to, you have to explain about these steps and everything. Can you tell me the difference between HANA 1.0 and 2.0? System DB, how many tenants we can create in one host? So can you tell me the list of HANA core process? So then, HANA list of file systems, mandatory list of mandatory file systems for HANA database, for HANA installation. What are the list of mandatory file systems? And also we can see here, so once the list of file systems, they may ask you /HANA data, root, USR, SAP, and the respective sizes. What size of the size of the each and every file systems. So regarding the size, so how can we get the RAM size or RAM size? How can we get the RAM size for HANA database? How can I get the RAM size estimation for the HANA sizing, HANA installation? Then we have to tell, like, using the quick sizer tool, or either quick sizer tool or t-shirt sizing method, we can use it to get the RAM size. And also each and every file system size of the each and every file system. So if you have the five types of file systems, mandatory file systems, right? Root, USR, SAP, /HANA data, /HANA shared, /HANA log. So these are the 5 types of file systems are there. The each and every file system, their respective sizes we discussed already, right? Root 10 GB, USR, SAP 50 GB, /HANA data 3 into RAM size, /HANA log, if it 0.5 into RAM size, /HANA shared. So it's like 1 into RAM size. Like that, we discussed all these file systems and everything, right? So, and also we discussed about the each and every process, system DB, tenant DB differences, system DB and 1.0, 2.0 difference, system DB sizing, all these things. So then installation prerequisites. So HANA installation prerequisites means sizing. Sizing is the one of the important. OS version should be important. Then sizing, like installation prerequisites. Installation prerequisites. Okay. Installation prerequisites of for HANA. So we discussed all these things: hardware requirements, software requirements, downloading the softwares. So how to download the softwares? So how to download the, this is also creating a one point, how to download the, so all media or all softwares are media for HANA. Then the 12th question, so what they may ask you, like installation prerequisites, how can we get the RAM size? So how to download the all softwares for our HANA or media. So how to download all the softwares. So download softwares, how to download it using the service marketplace. We can go ahead and we can download it on a platform. So HANA editions, we have to discuss about the HANA difference between HANA platform edition and so remaining editions we have 3 editions total. So we have to discuss about those things. Okay, we already know, we already discussed each and every point we discussed, okay. So like that they may ask you questions. If you refer the all the interview questions, so definitely they will touch these questions. Why? Because these are the scope of interview questions they may ask you. Okay, so these are the technical questions maybe. Okay, the difference between the HANA platform edition and the remaining editions we discussed, right? So we are using the platform edition. So remaining editions also few customers they may use it, but that depends upon the licensing and their cost. So they may use this it depends upon the license and cost. Okay, so they may use all these things and everything. So just 1 minute. So let me check here. Later I will check it out. Okay, so then installation prerequisites, media, then downloads. So from which user, so we have to, from which user we have to start the installation, from which user we have to start the installation, which user from we have to start the installation. So the answer is root user, we know already. So during the installation, what are the users will be created? What are the users will be created? So what are the users will be created? You already did the installation, right? What are the users will be created during the installation? SID, ADM, and system, right? These are the users will be created. So yeah, the next one, then how to stop and start the HANA databases, how to stop and start the HANA databases, So they may ask you this question, how to stop and start the HANA databases. So you know HDB stop, HDB start, or SAP control command, or SAP HANA Studio, we can use it from system DB, we can stop and start. Okay, these many waves are there to starting the HANA. So can you tell me during the starting of HANA, what will happen? They may ask you the questions, right? You know, right? Some tables, row store tables, indexes, column store tables, and roll forward, roll back mechanism will happen. So what is mean by delta merge? Can you explain about the delta merge concept? The next one is the save point. What is mean by save point? Okay, so they will ask you like backups types, how many types of backups types, how many ways we can take the backup types. So let me wait. Yeah, the laptop is not getting charged, so that is the first thing here. Yeah, so they may ask you questions like backup types. So we discussed, right? So full backup, differential backup, incremental backup. Then restore also they may ask you questions. Restore, so restore types. How many ways we can do the restore? And refresh, they may ask you steps on. So refresh, system refresh. We discussed it, right? Pre-refresh steps, either pre-refresh they may ask you, or entire procedure, or post-refresh steps, or so entire procedure you have to explain it, not detailed way. Maybe pre-refresh steps 10 steps, post-refresh 10 steps, then taking the backup and restoring it on the using the HANA Studio, we can restore it. They may ask you questions. Okay, so this one. So the next one is the, so where can you, but these are the very important steps we have to tell on the refresh. So pre, post, refresh, entire procedure. So restore types, restoring the database to the point in time, up to that point of time, period of time, and up to that backup. So there are three types of restore types, right? Backup types also three types. Save point, what is mean by delta merge? Okay, so where the tables exist in the database. So where the tables exist. So under the catalog schema, this will exist. Okay, under the catalog, then schemas. So in the under the schema, the tables will exist here. So suppose I want to change the parameters, like HANA Studio entire tab, they may ask you questions. So where can I check the versions? So they may ask you questions like, so where can I check the versions of HANA DB? So where can I check the versions of the HANA DB? So
Under overview.
yeah. Where can I check the how many what are the add-ons? What are the add-ons installed? What are the add-ons installed in our in HANA system? In HANA system. Where can I check? Same in the overview tab, we can check it out. Okay. These may questions like they will ask you the each and every tab, they may not ask you like, so can you explain the steps like HANA? So can you explain the steps like overview tab, something like that? So in the overview tab, whatever you are seeing, like in the version we are seeing, so memory usage we are seeing, file system space we are seeing, right? And also if any add-ons or plugins are installed, those things we can see from there. Those things we can see it from there, right? So same as like here, so they may ask you questions, same as like here, they may ask you questions like, so how to do that one, so how can I get, so everything. Okay, now overview tab, basically overview tab. Then landscape tab, so where can I check the status of the HANA services, status of the, so HANA services, where can I check the status of the HANA services? So in the landscape tab, we can check in the HANA Studio in the landscape tab, right? So that is the thing here. Then the next step, they may ask you questions like stop and start, we discussed it. Then during the stopping, so what exactly happens? Save point, when the, so what is meant by delta merge, right? Save point, delta merge, these are the very important questions, mandatory questions. These are the questions. So backup types, restore types, refresh types, tables, so schemas. Okay, all these things they may ask you the questions. Okay, so all these things they may ask you the questions. So the next one, stop and start, right? Restore, recovery. So all these things we covered it here. The next one, installation prerequisites. Okay, so refresh, stopping, starting. Okay, so where can I check the file system free space? So file system free space, where can I check that file system free space? Where can I check? In the OS level, DFF and H or HANA Studio, we can check it out, this one. The next one is the what happens if HANA license expires, what happens? Then system will be locked. So license types, HANA license types. So HANA license is based upon the, so license type, they may ask how many types of licenses, right? You need to understand this licenses and everything. So HANA license is based upon the memory quantity. That field is called the quantity. The technical term is called the quantity, based upon the quantity. So if you want to use the 600 GB, you need to purchase the 600 GB, even though you have the 1 terabyte RAM. So that is the, so licenses based upon the RAM size, you need to use the licenses. Again, it's creating a problem. Okay, so license types. Then though they may ask you, this is one of the important questions they may ask you, like, so if HANA, if data, if data are log volume full situations, log volume is full situations, so what happens? Your HANA system will be stopped state, not the stopped status. It will not commit the any transactions. It will not commit the any transactions. If data volume or log volume full, so what exactly happens at operating system level? We have the data volume, log volume, right? At operating system level. So what exactly happens here? What exactly happens here? See here, you have the data volume. So if you see here, df-h, the operating system level, you have the data volume and the log volume, right? If this data volume and the log volume is full, what exactly happens? If the data volume, log volume full, it happens like data volume and log volume full. So the thing is here, so immediately HANA will not commit any transaction codes. So in this case, what we have to do? Okay, so the answer for this question says either the first point we need to execute the first point we need to execute the reclaim command. There is a reclaim command, so we can execute it, which will free up the some of the log segments at OS level. We have to execute, or HANA Studio level if you have HANA Studio access still. Why? Because when HANA is locked or HANA is down, you cannot access the system from HANA Studio. Then we have only operating system level, we have to access it. Then so you have to execute the reclaim command. So alter, so database data something, there is a alter data reclaim, there is a command actually. So we have to execute it. I will share it in the link. So there is a command, we have to execute it, right? That reclaim command, we have to execute it. So even though if the reclaim command does not help, then what we have to do, we need to check the free space at available directory. The main intention here, the main intention of here main is the checking the free space and extending the free space. So extending the free space, we need to check where we have the air in which available directory. Normally they may ask questions, if HANA log is full, what is the reason? HANA log is full, what is the reason? They may ask you the questions, right? They may ask you the questions here. So then we need to answer all these questions, we need to answer it. If the data volume or log volume is full, suppose example here log volume is full here, so what happens? Log volume means what is the data stores, actual data, everything, the data about the changes, everything will store in the log volume, right? The changes about the data, everything will store in this log volume, right? What are the changes are happening in the main memory, all will be recorded here. All will be recorded in the log volume in the form of log files will be created, right? So if the log volume is full, then data will not commit here, then nothing will happen in the main memory. No transactions, nothing will happen in the main memory. So here, what we have to do here, so here, especially for the data volume, especially for the log volume full situations, so we need to execute the reclaim command. First of all, try to check that one. So even if you will get something, you will get some free space, then fine. If you are not getting the free space, then check the free space at available directory. Then once you check the available free directory, then create a soft link, to that available free space directory. Suppose available free space directory, create this free available. So free space, what is the directory you want to just from where? From log folder, from log directory, from log volume. So we can say many ways, right? So from log volume. So from log volume to there is a soft link we have to create it. ln space -s source and target and source we have to give it. That command we have to pass it at operating system level to create the soft link. Then in this case, what happens? Whatever the data storing here, same data will be stored here as well. Here as well. So why? Because our main finally what we have to do during the log full situations, when the log will full, if the backups are not running, if the backups are not running, then log full situations will happen. If the backups are not happening, if the log backups are not happening, then HANA log directory will full, right? Log will full. So then during the backup, that will delete the log files and everything. Log backup happen, that will delete the log files and everything. If the backups are not happening, then log will full. So in this case, what we have to do, if you want to run it again, it won't run because already it's 100% full, then it won't run. Then what we have to do, you need to execute the reclaim command C. If you get some free space, then execute the backup. If the backups are not executing again, then check the free space in every available directory. Then create the soft link to the, create the soft link to the free space directory to available free space directory to directory or folder to from log volume. We have to create that one. Then logs files will be created at the directory. Then we can run the backups. So that's thing we have to do that one. Otherwise, the main aim is for the increase the file systems, So directly we cannot increase the file systems. So before increasing it will take some time. Why? Because here it's required the Linux administrator person. So we have to work with him. Then we have to ask them to increase it. We need to get the approvals and everything. So in this case, it will take some time to get the process and everything. So because of this reason, we need to, first of all, we need to do some workaround. What is the workaround means? This is the workaround we have to perform it. So this may questions, many of the interviews, they may ask this type of questions. Okay. If the HANA log volume is full situations, so what is your action item? So then we need to once the increase the file systems, it is the last option. Then it is the last option. Then we need to hand over the system to business. This is the final handover we have to give to them. Okay, these many steps we have to fill it. Why? Because it's a very important question. Then analog volume full situations, analog volumes, license types, license expires. So if the license also expired, if the analog volume also full, then HANA will be locked from the operations. HANA will be down from the operations. So then immediately, if HANA down means SAP also it won't commit. If the SAP also won't commit, then okay. So this situations may arise sometimes. Okay. So then what next? What other things we can think, like we can check? So they may ask you questions like sometimes HANA replication types, and they may ask you like explain it. Okay. So I have not discussed about the replication. I will discuss about the replication. Okay. So but you can keep in mind about the replication, HANA replication, and also the types. We have the three types of replication and two types of operation modes available. So entire this topic is pending from our side. We'll discuss about this one. The next one, they may ask you questions like, once the HANA replication is completed, this is the last question. Then HANA high availability, HANA HA and DR, disaster recovery. Yes, Nanda, you have some questions?
Sir, file system increasing and all, we are taking there on
Linux team will do that one. Why? Because we are not the OS administrators. So we will only coordinate with them to increase it. So then they will take care of everything. So then the next one is the HANA HA and DR, disaster recovery. So disaster recovery, HANA HA and DR. HANA HA and DR means, so suppose we already discussed about these things, right? So suppose we have in the critical applications, we have HANA HA primary and secondary, and we have DR as well, disaster recovery system also available, DR. So these two are in one region, one data center. These two These two HANA systems are in the one data center. These are in the another data center. These two are in the another data center. This is the primary. Okay. This is the primary. This is the secondary. So this is the DR, disaster recovery. Okay, DR scenario. Okay, so this is the DR scenario. This is the data center one. Okay, data center one means it is in the one country. This is the data center two. This is in the different region. We have this one. Okay, primary. So here you have installed the one HANA box. Here you have installed the one more HANA box, and there is a cluster mechanism here. There is a cluster, SUSE Linux cluster, OS cluster is available here. So that cluster services here we have, that cluster services we have, that is the cluster, SUSE Linux cluster we have. Okay, the cluster services. So cluster. So what this cluster will do here? So primary, all users and applications will connect, all applications. Suppose this is the application. Suppose we will write here, this is the application here. Okay, this application will connect to the this HANA database here. Okay, so this application will connect to the, this is the application. Okay, application, this is the application here, this is the application. Okay, so if this application is connecting to the this database, this is the DB primary, this is the DB secondary. Okay, this is the DB DR. Okay, database DR, disaster recovery. So this is the critical applications, one of the banking applications, if you assume. Okay, so if something goes wrong here, all applications will connect primary only. If something goes wrong, immediately the connection, the SAP connection will point to the secondary database. It will point, it means the cluster, if something goes wrong here, immediately the cluster services, the Coro Sync and FaceMaker services are there in the cluster. It will switch over. It will switch over the services to the secondary. So here automatically there is the replication. The replication will happen automatically. The primary to secondary, the replication will happen here. The replication will happen from the primary to secondary. The replication will happen. The primary to secondary, the replication will happen here. So you no need to worry about the data. Why? Because whatever the transactions are here, A to Z, same transactions will be moved to the here in the secondary DB as well. Right? Same transactions will be moved to the secondary DB as well. If something in the primary data center, something is happened here, some issue, some error, some OS issue happened, immediately your cluster resources will assume, okay, something is wrong with the primary data center. Then if immediately it will move the DB services to the primary to secondary, it will move it here in the same data center, it will move it here, right? It will move to the here. So if this data center also having some issues, entire this data center got corrupted due to the floods or something, it got corrupted, entire this data center is down, hardware, storage network, everything is gone. Then immediately then they will close their business, right? They will stop their business. Why? Because if the entire all systems are down, how they can systems will work, how they can build the transactions and everything, right? They cannot do anything. Then in this case they may lose the business, right? They may lose the business. For that one, they will create a one disaster recovery system in the different data center. So the disaster recovery, the automatically the replication will happen from here to here. The replication will happen either the storage replication also we have the types, either the storage to data center replication, or primary to then again DR replication will happen. Again primary to the disaster recovery replication will happen here. Immediately they will bring up the system here. They will start the all SAP systems from here in this data center. They are some again SAP DR SAP, and again is there. They will start it. They will start all the business from here. While this is down, while this is working on, they will start the disaster recovery center. They will work it out. So we have the alternatives are there. So that's why they may ask you questions, how the DR works, how the HADR works, how the HADR works. Like that they may ask you questions. So we have to answer like, if the primary data center down, if the primary application server is down, primary DB is down, it will switch to the secondary. Even secondary also having some issues, then it will try to fall back to this primary. It will try to again, the cluster will switch to this primary. If the primary already down, then it will retry sometimes, then it will also stop here. Secondary also will be stopped here. Then what next? Then immediately, as we a basis team, then we need to bring up the servers on the data center, HADR, in the DR data, disaster recovery. That's why disaster recovery data centers, we need to start. So resuming our operations and everything, business operations and everything here. That's why we have the BCP, business continuity plan. Why? Because business should not be down much always. If it's the banking situation, banking critical applications, so how if the data center is having some issues, if entire data center is having power issue, then it's down. One country they have power issues, if entire down means if they have the business in all the other countries as well, then it will affect to the business operations, right? Correct or not? I have immediately sent the, so from my Access Bank to immediately send the, so not only Access, from my XYZ bank to, I need to send the, so transactions to some other account, I have to send it. Immediately I need to pay some hospital bills and everything. Otherwise the hospital person, they won't do the something, right? Then how can we do that one? So if the my XYZ bank is down, bank services are down, I cannot do the phone pay, even transactions, everything is down, I cannot do anything. Even 1 day completed, 2 days completed, everything is down. Then what? Then immediately I will get the bad remarks, right? So then, okay, why should we use this account? We can close it and we can go for the another account, right? So then if all people are think like that, so their business, they will get the business loss, right? So for that one, to avoid that type of business loss related activities, then the owners of the owners, the clients, the customers will think like, okay, we can immediately bring up the data center too. Then they can resume their operations and everything, right? So that will happen in the within the business days, right? This is the HADR scenarios. Okay, this is the HADR scenarios. They may think like this. Okay, so this is the HADR scenario and the replication modes, configurations, and everything we'll discuss. Then, so what we left in the during the HANA, so pre-steps, what we left, pre-steps, HANA installations, HANA upgrade, yes, HANA upgrades we left, HANA upgrade. So when upgrading the HANA systems, HANA upgrade. So upgrading the HANA systems, HANA upgrade also important. Backup and restore also we discussed. So they may ask you questions like, my source version is the SPS 06. My target version is the SPS 05. Can I do the restore? No. Target should be, we have the thumb rule, right? Either both should be in the same version or the target should be higher than source. Then only the restore works. Otherwise, the restore it won't work, right? So that is the thing, like HADR, replications, hand over the system to be. So these are the things, like these are the different parts. This will comes and as part of the this answers. Okay, don't think like the 5 and 6 will come from here. Okay, so this is the different again. So then, so not the 6 here, 30. Why? Because in the 30 minutes time, they will not all on, they will not only ask questions on the this time, they will ask questions on the SAP side as well. So maybe the frequent questions like this only. HANA means HANA installations, HANA upgrade, backups, restore, log backups. So what happens if the log backup full situations? These questions they may ask you, definitely they may ask you. HANA installation, HANA stop and start. Okay, HANA logs checking, HANA trace. So if something got full, HANA logs, HANA trace directory. Trace directory you need to remember. So all the logs we can check it out from the here HANA trace directory. Okay, HANA, so parameter changes. Where can I check the parameter changes? INA files, right? In HANA Studio, then in the configuration tab, there we can change it. Or OS level, INA files we can change it. OS level INA files we can change it. Then what next we have? So then what next? So we have how to enable the trace, in HANA. So there is a studio, we can enable the trace, right? Then also how to collect the traces, how to collect the runtime traces, are so traces, it may be traces collection. In the, if you go to the traces diagnosis files directory, there we have the option to collect the traces and enable the tracing and everything, right? So there they can do that one, how to collect the runtime traces and everything. Okay, how to auditing. Then HANA user management, HANA audit policies, how to enable the HANA auditing, how to enable the HANA audit policies, HANA audit. Then how to create the users and roles, that we already discussed more on this. Okay, HANA create the users and roles. Then what next? What other things we discussed? What other things we left? Any other can think? Oh, what happened with my battery today? It's charging now, but let's see. Okay, so what other things we discussed? Anyone can remember? So you have the access, HANA Studio also you have the access. So you can log in, just you can see the monitoring, overview, landscape, alerts. So all these things we have. So all these things we have here. So let's see, previously we had some issues with the taking the backup of the tenant DB, right? So let's try to do that one. Why? Because it will work this time now. Okay, complete DB backup I am taking now. It will work this time. So we have new social Linux version we have installed, so that will taken it. So backup could not be completed. Read channel, reading from the channel broken. Maybe some permission issue, I guess this one. Some permission issue, I guess this one. That's why it's not taking this one. So but there is no backup issue. Why? Because in the OS level, we have file systems, FS tab. If you go to the file systems here, that XFS, all the file systems mount points like XFS file systems. So we no need to worry about that. Previously, we have BTRFS file systems. So it is not supported by SAP for HANA database. Either XFS or ext04 type should be supported. So now it's changed. We changed it to the XFS. So it should work now. So, but only the sometime like permissions or something we need to work it out here. Some permissions or something here. So we need to check that one. We need to check that point. And so first of all, HANA DB is not available here. So that's the reason HANA DB is not available here. Actually, I'm taking the online snapshot. So maybe taking the snapshot is completed. Okay, maybe we need to start it. I think we need to start the database here. I have not started after that. So connect to the SID ADM. Then just execute STB stop once. It will stop it and again it will start it. Okay, so then what next? What other things we discussed? Anyone can remember? Audit policies, users, auditing, runtime traces, how to enable. These are all the very important, guys. Don't ignore it. So they may ask you questions. Definitely they may ask you questions like this only. So definitely they may ask you questions, all these questions. Why? Because we all covered all the questions. We covered it almost, like upgrade steps. So downloading the files, upgrade, upgrade we discussed latest version only. HADR, just now we discussed about the HADR means they will not just they will ask you how it works. Replication, they may ask you how to enable the replication. That will I will tell you the steps. Okay, HANA replication, HANA trace directory, parameter changes in the configuration tab we can change it. So how to enable the trace. So that one we discussed how to enable the trace and everything. So now I am starting again. Okay, so how to enable the trace and everything. Okay, so collect the runtime traces, enable the trace, file systems options. So file systems, all these things we discussed. So if anything missed, so I will share in the group, but don't worry about this one. If you have any questions, just make a note. Then when we will connect again by next week, one day, then so you can, what you can do, so you can just to bring up your sheet, your notes, then let me ask me questions, then I can answer it. Right? Till now you have the access, then you can practice it here. So you can see here, I have freshly installing the SAP here. Maybe almost it's completed. Yeah, I think it's almost completed. You can see it's almost done. So it's almost done. So installation of this one, it's almost done. So you can log in same ECP. So you can see, but your instance number is the 00. You can use this one, and our SID and your logins will work same SID, but instance number is the 00. Then you can log into your systems. Okay, log into the system. With you can create the client. You can do whatever after the installation, whatever we have to do, you can carry out all these things. Then you will get the practice now. That's the reason we have reinstalling our SAP system here. Then you can use the same password, same user, same password will work here. Okay, London 2023. So then you can log in. Then you can do all the post steps and everything. You know, right? Post steps. What are the post steps we have to perform it? So STMS configurations. Okay, client creation, logical system creation, then client copy from 000 or 001 to newly created client, right? So then what next? Some parameter changes. So all these things we have to perform it. Then if you perform it, then you can practice it everywhere. SMLG, RJ12 creations, right? Then you will get the perfect. Everything is deleted now. So you have to create it new now again, so that you will get the practice and you will get the perfect. So all topics you can revise it now. So system is available now. Fresh system, brand new system is available now. So HANA system also available here. Then you can do the practice here. You can do the practice here. Okay. You do the practice,
Okay,
right?
sir.
Okay.
Okay,
So
sir.
yeah, if any questions, you can ping me. Then immediately we will connect to the meeting and we will discuss. Okay.
Okay.